Go Bitcoin, go Bitcoin, go Bitcoin. I'm going to just stand here and cheer it on. It's like, because I've been telling you guys not to
So
sell.
we've decided we're not doing a wrap up today. We're just going to watch Bitcoin, aren't we?
Yeah, we're just going to go Bitcoin, go Bitcoin. Every day a new all-time high.
Look at that. Look at it go. It's good timing, actually, isn't it? Wow.
That is massively pumping. And ETH is the same. So, yeah.
Excellent. Well, without further ado, I mean, thank you everyone for joining. Loads of people flying in. Leave a comment. Let us know where you're joining us from, X or YouTube, or of course, getting started in crypto. You have access to the chat, and you can ask, request charts, etc. So, yeah, exciting times. Lisa, I'm just going to hand this over to you so I don't scare everyone off and let your commentary do the work.
Yeah, so, well, obviously we've got a new all-time high on Bitcoin, which is another exciting day. And, you know, people like Capo saying it's the worst time to be bullish. It probably is, but there's so many you can still scalp trade with really tight stop losses, and there's still money to be made. So don't let that scare you off. Don't get into the over, crazy leverage margin trades. But how good is this? This is good. And yeah, so Bitcoin nearly at 71,000, crazy. So, in Australian dollars, for all the Aussies watching, that's like over 100 grand. So it's huge, huge.
It's really big. Absolutely. What do we think is, I mean, did you anticipate this move? And what do we think could be the immediate reaction?
Yeah, so what is happening right at the moment is we're in this kind of, rising wedge, which potentially we could see, a top around 74 on this before a little bit of a pullback. I did think we'd get a little bit more of a pullback, but that's okay. It has been really, really bullish. When we go to the stock RSI, we've just got a 4-hour cross. So, that's a really positive sign that this is going up further. So it's one of the indicators I like to watch to see where we're pulling back. So we can see, on the 4-hour here, we got that pullback. We're down the bottom. We've got a cross, and here we are. And yeah, looking really exciting. It's had bearish divergence on this chart since like forever. So ignore that. Ignore the divergence at the moment, because that doesn't matter. We're just, with the ETFs and everything, BTC is getting gobbled up. So if you don't have some in your bags, you're crazy. It's like, but we're seeing 700 to 1,000% on meme coins. And I know over the weekend, you and I have been playing on the Solana meme coins, which are just going absolutely bonkers. And yeah, it's been fun. It's been a really fun market. So
Dylan with us is joining from the rocket on the way to the moon, which is excellent news. Robbie, Bitcoin to 83, he reckons. Bring it on, lovely Lisa. One comment from X now, Lisa, LJ, I'm still mainly in Bitcoin, but thinking about feeding some into alts. What are you looking at next?
Well, for alts, there's been so many. So the meme coins are like really hitting like their tops. A lot of these coins are in a fourth wave. Well, what we think is a fourth wave. They just keep going and extending. So, those are just all crazy going. And it's hard to catch coins before they do actually take off. So Bitcoin has just passed 71. I just got an alert from CoinGecko. So yeah, so crazy moments. So I think pretty much you can buy, while Bitcoin's doing this, if you're not in sort of alts at the moment, you can scalp those with tight stop losses. You're going to get 10 to 20% on most of them. Once Bitcoin takes a break, the alts go. So you want to be in your sort of AI and those sort of coins. They're really moving at the moment as well. And the DPIN one. So if you're not sure what DPIN is, check out the Moon Mag, and that's the moonmag.com, and you can read about what DPIN is. So, and yeah, there's quite a few good ones.
Absolutely. So Bitcoin is obviously taking the attention in this immediate moment, but if we took a look at Ethereum, is there anything going on there?
Definitely. So before we go to Ethereum, I want to just jump into Bitcoin. So we do have a solar eclipse coming up. So it will be mainly in the US, but that doesn't matter. So with Bitcoin, a lot of the solar eclipses do affect, which is crazy, but true. We had a solar eclipse here. We had a solar eclipse here. We've got a solar eclipse coming up on, I think it's the 25th. Don't quote me on that, but I'll double check it. I was looking at it this morning. So we are coming up to this second star or third star, red star in this region, and that's that 84 that Robbie is talking about. So potentially we can get there before we get a pullback. Now, this region here is very important because this is where we get that pullback when we go into the halving. So when we look at these regions, it works in a 4-year cycle. So we will get a pullback, whether it's huge, whether it's not, we don't know because of the ETFs. So, you know, any dips are for buying at the moment, whether they're like bigger dips or smaller dips, they're for buying. So have a strategy where you're dollar cost averaging for the long term as well, not just short-term trading. So that's what you want to be doing. You want to be building your bags. We had you probably see me like shouting about it on Twitter. We put 75K in to a long-term DCA bag. We started in January 2023, not the absolute bottom, but close to the bottom. Some of those alts continued to come down to the bottom. They didn't bottom for another 3 or 4 months. So we dollar cost averaged those along the way. And that is now at about 205,000, probably a bit more with this pump. And it's looking really good. So, you know, that's a long-term bag. So we, you know, for tax purposes, we don't want to be buying and selling anything more sort of than a, you know, expected 30% dip. We'll probably look at selling because, you know, that way we're not sort of, you know, sort of losing too much money. And we're not paying too much tax because every sale event is a taxable event for taxation purposes in countries around the world, not just Australia. I know the US is the same and Europe is the same. So unless you're a trader by profession, that is going to cost you a lot of money. So hodling could be the way, and building those bags and only trading with a small amount of money, like maybe 10 to 20% of your total bags is a good way, a good strategy for the long term, depending on how much you have. So if you're building your bags, you might want to trade that up first before you start hodling. So you can hodl anytime and start building those bags. We're going to start building another bag soon with another 75,000 just to see how we go with, you know, from this point on, and having built that bags from, you know, further back. So yeah, but
okay.
I've got alerts going off everywhere. Like
I was going to say, as you were speaking, the Ethereum scalp that we've got in getting started in crypto, we just published that. What, half an hour ago? Not even that, 20 minutes already at target 2, long in it times 5. So that's 25 odd % there in 20 minutes, which is epic. Talking of which, shall we take a little look at Ethereum?
If you want to have a look, I've got, I'm just going to hide some amounts. But yeah, so this is a scalp. It's just sold target 2. I've got the upper order on our scalp as well. So I've got a total of 25 Ethereum at the moment, just so you can see that I do trade my own charts. Yeah, so that's still open.
$3,000 was that? And you're just going to carry on, or do you want to wrap up early and just like?
Yeah, I'm just going to wrap up early. See you later. Bye. I'm going shopping.
Oh dear. Okay. Talking of which, shall we have a look at Ethereum for everyone tuning in?
Let's jump into Ethereum because it's looking mighty nice. It's come back down to a support and it's hit that support perfectly. We do a daily Bitcoin and Ethereum update in the group at the moment. So just because Ethereum is so bullish with the ETFs and, you know, that's sort of happening at the moment as well. So that's been happening. It perfectly hit there. Bitcoin didn't get quite down to the point that we thought it was going. The other thing is on this 3-hour chart, we've got a cross on the stock as well, which is a really positive thing. So it means that there's a momentum change, which we've seen today. And you can see the 4-hour has just crossed there as well. So you can track that from the lower time frames and buy and sell the smaller. Like if you're doing sort of, you know, your 15-minute charts, you got to, you know, buy, sell those smaller ranges. And obviously larger ranges when you go up to the higher time frames. So you're going to get a larger scalp in that region. So if you want to buy and sell, buy and sell, buy and sell as they go.
Okay.
But I think we're going to, with that said, I think we're going to see the resistance tested, which is 4,300 for Ethereum.
$4,300 is the mark to look for on Ethereum. Okay, cool. Well, normally we would just go off into our group now and do some charts, but I'm thinking as Bitcoin's just got a new all-time high, why don't we just stay live for everyone and do some alts as well? What do you reckon?
We can do, yeah, definitely.
Happy to do that, or are you just going to go off and just focus on your trade? Is that?
Let's go. Let's jump into some alts for everyone.
Okay. Did you have any prepared that you wanted to look at first, or I'll tell you what before we do.
I haven't got any prepared because normally I just do it as per requests in the group.
All right then. Well, let's say everyone on X and YouTube, you can join in with the comments if you want to see some charts. We will do as many as we can. I've also got some from Getting Started in Crypto. Everyone watching in, at least we are looking at Crow and Big Time.
All right. I had a look at Big Time earlier. So I just want to jump in. This is one that I had on Twitter. So if you guys got into this trade, it went 265%. So and I hope some of you bought this because we bought it quite high. And, you know, it was at a resistance point. So it just proves how bullish this market is. You know, it is quite high on a lot of, this is a daily. So, and, you know, if we take that down and we have a look at the indicators down there, so it's still got room to move. We've got a squish dog there. But the indicators on this 4-hour chart are showing this has got a move incoming. So, yeah, one to look at as well. Yeah, so let's jump into Big Time, which I did look at earlier. So we can see this was a signal that got to target 1 before it came back down to the stop loss in the group. But it does look like it's about to move. A lot of these charts are looking quite bullish. And this has got some nice volume entering as well. So we're just starting to flip on the MACD. MACD is a lagging indicator. So that's why we do look to other indicators to see where we're going. it's absolutely hugging the MAs. So for anyone that watches me chart and knows how I work, I love MAs, I love EMAs, and I love MACD and divergence indicators. So and stock at the moment. So they give me a broader picture of where the chart's going, along with Elliott wave. I count the waves to know kind of where we are in those patterns. So this is looking really good. And potentially from this point, I would say we're going to head up if my things will work. Potentially, we've got about a 69-70% coming in the not too distant future on this chart.
Okay, plenty of requests coming in. I'm going to get through as many as we can. Sol is up next. That's a popular one. If we can take a look at that.
So if you are not trading Solana shitcoins, make sure you do it. They're lots of fun. There's no pattern. So you just like hope that it goes up, take enough money when you've got enough money, and then move to the next one.
Right. So birdeye.so is a really useful website. I'm going to pop that in the chat now if people can see the chat. Birdeye.so to check out those Solana shitcoins, but do be very careful in there.
Yeah. So this is Solana, which annoyingly hit my stop loss on a TTM signal. So TTM signals have very tight stop losses. It just decided to come back down, and now it's decided it's going to be up there. So Solana is looking like it's got a few more targets above. So I've got a 237 on Solana. So I'm not sure when that is going to be because it has slowed down a little bit. So if I jump this up to a daily just to see where we are, we can get a little bit more information. So I'll chuck some fibs on that. And we can see that 211 is probably a safe bet on these next. Let me just move all my lines. So right now we are sort of sitting right in limbo in mid sort of way. It's going to have a little bit of a sideways movement, I would say, and then take off. So, 211, 237 is looking really strong. It's obviously, as when more and more of these Solana shitcoins sort of take off and people get trading those, that's going to mean that, there's more money coming into Solana again.
Okay.
Not that it ever stopped.
A request from YouTube, Matic. We can take a look at Matic.
So I was looking at Matic. So Matic's a little bit slower than most of them, and it's still in a bearish pattern. It hasn't quite crossed over like a lot of the altcoins have. And for Matic, we can see when we go, potentially it is, there's two patterns here. So until we have broken above the pivot, which means potentially this is bullish, but it's not quite there yet because we haven't broken that previous high. So this could do a larger pattern A, B, C. I don't think so, just due to the state of the market. But, there's still that possibility to be aware of, that we could do a larger pattern A, B, C, come back down for a C, and then it's, having that deeper correction when we do go into the halving cycle where we do get a few pullbacks. I don't think the market's going to go up forever. So just be aware of that. Keep your stop losses moving. We are getting to that upper end of the greed cycle. So, the fear and greed index has been sitting in the 80s, which is high. It has gone higher in the past, but we want to be sort of pushing those stop losses up into profits and taking profits off the table at this point. So when we're looking at that short term, we want to be sort of pushing above 1.54 before we do get that correction. So we want to see quite a push on Matic over the next little while, short term, before we do get those major pullbacks on Bitcoin and Ethereum. And when I say major, this is a third wave for Bitcoin. So major is not going to be major. It's probably, because we are in a bullish market, it's probably going to go to the 236 fib or the 382 fib. So a smaller like pullback, not these massive pullbacks that we're seeing. Capo still saying at 10K. So, you know, while it is risky to be ultra bullish and entering like with all your bags at the moment, there's still money to be made, as I've said, like at the beginning of this stream.
Okay, cool. Here's a cool comment from Alan, new member, and love your signals. Could you please analyze RNDR and FET if possible? One or both, Lise. It's up to you because there are plenty others to check out.
I've got FET already done, so I can jump into that one as well. So we can see like all of these charts are just absolutely taken off. So that's hit one of my lines, which is nice. So these are fib projection lines. So if I'll show you, let's just run back through. Hang on, I'm going to put that up to a daily so we can see where we are within this pattern. So we've got double bottom there. So potentially this is coming up. It's past this fib. It hasn't passed it by a huge amount. So potentially it could return at this point or continue up. But I would say potentially continuing up to about 14.4. It does look very oversold in this region, or overbought, sorry, in this region backwards. So probably a little bit of a pullback here before a continuation to that 14.4. And then, yeah, from there, the next fib that these charts usually like to go to is the 1.618, which is sitting at about 18.77. So it's still got lots of room to move. But it does look like it will be getting a pullback at some point in the not too distant future. So just be careful with that.
Okay, cool.
FET, let me get that one up. Oh, not yet. I'm pretty sure I did FET yesterday for somebody in the group. Yeah, so this one's got subwaves and waves. So at this point, it's in a subwave 3 of 3 of a larger 3. So for Elliott wave, for those that know, there's 5 waves and then a corrective wave, 5 waves and then a corrective wave. Sometimes you get 7 waves or 9 waves when we get wave extensions, and that's what we've been seeing. So when we look at the internal waves, we're at an internal 3, we're pulling back. So this might go to about 2.4 on a pullback and then continue up higher. But yeah, it's going to be a little bit choppy for a little bit because we are in those subwaves at the moment. Top target on this one at about 8.
Nicely done. Do you need to check on your Ethereum trade, or what's going on there?
No, it's got targets, and yeah, it's fine. I think it just sold target too. So wow, Ethereum's just hit 4K. Woo!
That's what I was saying. You might need to check on that. But you're very casual about it. So you obviously got your targets and everything sorted. And
no, they're all sorted and waiting. So I think we're going to about 4,100 here. So yeah.
What a move. Fantastic. Okay, let's do a few more charts. We're not going to be able to get all of them done. I'm sorry, they're just flooding in. There's like 5,000 people watching in. Toby, you are one of the lucky ones on Twitter, X, even AVAX. Can we take a look?
It's going to be, internet is going to slow down. It's like, yeah, doesn't want to open this.
Overload.
It's not opening. It's like, no. Internet says no. Let's see if I can get it. It could even be TradingView just overloaded with everyone just jumping on to have a look. So I'm going to take this up to a daily and just see where we are on this pattern. And it still looks very, very early for AVAX. It doesn't look as though we've even hit the pivot yet. So for AVAX, we really, 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 really would like to pass that 52 point. So that 52 is a key pivot, which means that's now bullish. So at the moment, this is still a bearish pattern until that passes. So this could be a B wave. It could be still in that corrective pattern formation. So when we're looking at this chart, we can see we've got possibly an A, a B, and a C with, you know, a long correction there. So I would say more than likely we've got a W, a Y, an X, and a Z. It could still be corrective. So that's not how that pattern goes. Hang on, let me have a look. I want a WX, that one. So that could be our pattern here, with this being quite a flat sort of WXY within. Oh, everything's loading. It's just taking forever on TradingView at the moment. So that could be the pattern. It could be complete, and this could be our first wave, or it could be an A wave. So until it breaks at 50, sort of 250, this is still a corrective pattern. So we've got to take it one step at a time. We don't want to be, you know, taking too much action or too much of a trade on this when it's not quite bullish as yet. So if you are in this trade, just keep pushing your stop loss up. It does look like potentially on this pattern, it can go to about 65. And this could potentially be the fourth wave of this pattern. So what that would look like is sort of like maybe there 1, 2, 3 coming down for the fourth and then going up for the fifth. This does look like one wave though. So that means it's either the A wave or the one wave, and this is a second wave. So but it's awfully slow and not yet bullish. Once it goes into either the C wave or the third wave, that's when this is really going to start moving, but it's not quite there yet.
Okay. So this is going to come down to two things: doing as many charts until TradingView breaks or your voice goes, because coming up to that time.
Well, let's do say 4 more charts.
4 more charts. All right. Phil, F-I-L.
Oh, TradingView's been quicker today. So this is another one that I've done the pattern for the group. We can see that we've got a strong resistance coming up. Again, Filecoin hasn't yet broken into being into a bullish pattern. It's still in a bearish pattern, but it does look like it is heading into that next stage. So as long as we can break in and get to this high of this third wave, third wave, which is 17.5. Correction back down to retest this resistance. That's all my ETH alerts going. So as long as we come back down, we hold that previous resistance as support, and we then take off. This is a good trade. If this is the pattern and it's not still corrective, we do have 34 on Filecoin. Okay. He's going to go sideways for a little bit though, because it's quite high on RSI and everything.
Okay, let's go back to X. Let's pick one from here, either hot or dent, whichever one you feel like looking at.
I haven't looked at either of those for ages. Let's go dent.
This has come from iTrade. This is our third bull run together. Big fan.
Ah. We love that. Hopefully you've been taking some profits, iTrade, if you have been with me for 3 bull runs. Okay, it's going to be super, super, super slow just loading this up. I think the world is looking at TradingView at the moment. So we have got a bullish move on this. It has broken through that pivot. I've got another region up at about 0035 that we want to be breaking. Let me put some glasses on. So I'd say this is our wave 1. Let me just get some targets. It is looking quite strong. So this potentially is a subwave here because this pattern is not complete. So what I would say this looks like, this is our 1, our 2, our 3, our 4, and coming up to here. So it's possibly looking like we'll probably get a pullback at about 32 and then a larger pullback at about 38. There's a few zeros in front, but yeah. And then that upper target is about 46, which is also the pivot. So we want to touch that pivot and just tap it and break it. And that means once we have that pullback, this is going to be quite bullish because it will be moving into that larger pattern third wave, which a lot of alts will be going into once we get the halving pullback.
Okay, Lizette wishes this was my third bull run with Lisa. I'd be retired by now and just trading.
Well, yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there.
Yeah, it only takes one bull run sometimes. So hopefully this is the one. You
just got to learn how to sell. It's like none of this. Somebody was telling me in the group that they watched the XRP trade go to $3.30 in 2017, 2018. And then, all the way to $3.30, all the way back down. And they watched it the last bull run as well. And I'm just like, learn to sell these things. Learn to let go. It's like, don't marry your bags.
It really is a skill, because even today I found myself watching a bag of mine which was underwater. Suddenly I was in profit and my bias instantly changed to, no, I'm just going to hodl now. And that's it. I did manage to sell it and I did make profit. So you should be proud of me. Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Let's do a couple more charts. Let's have a look. Oh, YGG was a request. Yield Guild Games.
Yeah, so YGG has been a signal within the group. So, and it has moved incredibly. So I think we made about 80% on this one so far.
Huge.
So it does have room to move.
Yeah.
So 85% was our where we have got a pullback in this region. Sorry, my brain's just gone a bit mushy. Too many charts in such a short amount of time.
One more.
Yeah. So we can see on this 4-hour, this is a sideways pullback. It is holding on the RSI. Now, the reason we know this is a sideways pullback is if we drop this down, we're going to see the MAs just tighten up in that area. So when they tighten up, it just means that they're testing for just to see. It's like a little baby running away and going, hang on, is mummy still there? I just need to test that. So that's what's happening. If they break down, then you're like, hang on a sec, that's not for me, that trade. But this is looking really, really good. When we go up to that 4-hour chart, our signal goes to 218. Some of these have been going more, but that's a safe region to exit, move to your next trade. So 1.98 on that one.
Okay, right. I'll tell you what I'm going to do for the last chart. I'm going to read out a load of tickers, and you're going to pick one that just feels right to do. So VET, ROSE, ZCX, Cubic, ZEC again, ZEC, INJ. What are you feeling? Sand, Link. What's stuck in your mind? What's stuck in your mind?
Let's go ZEC.
ZEC. All right.
Yeah, or ZEC for the Americans watching. It's weird how it just changes in sound. Oh, that's a Bitcoin chart. So this is, you can see that this has this massive big wedge coming down. Obviously, a lot of the BTC pairs, just due to the fact BTC is rising, they're going to be dipping, dipping, dipping. This is holding and has held for quite some time in this wedge. So, and one that I've been watching, because when we're watching the BTC pairs, we can sort of get an idea when BTC is going to start pulling back, because they work in a seesaw sort of effect. So because BTC is not a stable coin, when BTC goes up, these BTC alt pairs will go down, and this one has been holding. So if we go to the ZEC or ZEC USD pattern, we will see that it's potentially about to break out any moment. So just looking at that pattern, it does look like it has got a breakout coming soon. It is one of the slow movers at the moment, and one that I have been watching both on the BTC pair and on the USDT pair. So let's just get some of these lines off here, and we can see that it's coming right down. There looks like there's a channel there. So yeah, it's just rejecting in that channel. There is a trend line forming in that region. So that is a good sign that this is in a wedge. So if it does come back, we want it to hold the 100 and 200 MA on this daily. So that is 26.8. So it could pull back as low as that region, or it could take off from here, but it really needs to break out. So to get some momentum happening, there's not many coins like, you know, in the top 1,000 that haven't moved at the moment. So this is, I think this is still in the top 1,000, probably about 300 it used to be. So it should still have that momentum coming in. So this is what I look for when I'm doing a signal, coins that haven't moved as yet, because we know that if this is to move, if this is our wave one, what we want to look at is this being a 1, a 2, a 3, coming down for the 4, and then a breakout. So once that happens, we want to get that retest of that resistance as support and then continue up. And that's kind of what we look for. Waves obviously move in a pattern up and down. They move with market psychology. So that's what you guys get used to, trading these patterns, and they move in a pattern as per how they're traded. So with that being said, I'll throw some lines on it. So if this is our 1 on this one, so that does mean that it's going to go to about that point that I've got that line. So our waves are going to go to around about 90 for that would be our wave 3. and then potentially 106 for our 5 waves. But this is a lot slower. It doesn't have the, you know, there's a lot more exciting coins there at the moment that obviously people are trading. A lot of these older coins like ZEC, Litecoin, XRP are not getting the backing at the moment because they're not moving. So until they do show some sort of sign of moving, people are not going to jump into them.
Okay, cool. Lise, would you do me a quick favor and open up in a tab the GSIC website with the signals page? I think it'd be good since we've gone live and done the whole of the weekly wrap up for everyone this week. For those of you who are not in the group with us, why not? And B, let's give you a little glimpse of what it looks like inside. So here we go. And just proof of work with that scalp. So if we scroll down, can we?
So with all these trades as well, so follow Crypto Getting and you'll see all the live results posted. So it's fully transparent. So you can see what we're doing, stop losses as well when they do hit annoyingly. But yeah, you can see this is our ETH. So we're looking for a target of 4,036. We're at 4,003 at the moment. So we're almost there. That's our TTM. And that's our scalp. So 4,058.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's our daily. We get a daily Bitcoin and ETH update at the moment. So it used to be just Bitcoin, but because ETH is in such an important range, it has been BTC and ETH. This purple zone, as I explained earlier, is the halving zone. And we've moved into there with about 35 days to halving. So we want to see that last push, hopefully to 84, like we were talking earlier. If not, any profit is good profit. As we say, just have a stop loss so you don't lose it all. There's our ETH, hit our star, which was beautiful. Stop losses, which was annoying with that pullback that we saw. No way of really, because the waves are so jumbled on BTC and ETH, just trying to push it up to those targets, and with ETFs and everything, it's quite hard to know when we're getting those larger pullbacks other than the smaller pullbacks. But yeah, we can see that we've got YGG, you know, quite a few GQ or geek, as you like to call it.
And we've got, I mean, if you're looking over on the left, we've got all sorts of portfolio crypto bites. And I don't know how your Lisa bot's looking, if you've got that open at all. And for those of you, we do know a lot of you like to use the Lisa bot, which just trades the signals from the website. I'll let you do those.
Signed in on this computer, so let me just quickly do that.
Okay, as you see, we've got 2FA, which is something we preach almost religiously as well. But yeah, let's just have a quick look at the Lisa bot, because I know so many of you have asked about it. You want to see inside, you want to see how the signals are traded. Essentially, it just takes the heavy lifting off placing the trades and watching the market 24/7. It does that for you. So are we going to be able to take a look at that list?
Yeah, hang on. I'm just trying to.
No problem.
Like my 2FA. Hang on.
If not, I can probably load it up here as well.
There we go.
We good? Okay, let's go take a look.
So that's my daily stats all up at the moment, which is nice. If we head into our trading tab, so this is current signals. This is the signals. So I will sell sometimes target one. I've got a couple of different bots that I run. So this is all target one at the moment. And I've got another bot that I run to all the signals. all targets, sorry. So yeah, so we can get an idea of, you know, sort of if somebody's selling at this range with this amount of money, how much they're going to kind of be making. So this buys in $100 a ladder on this bot, and 5 ladders, which is $500 maximum on a trade, and then it makes those profits. So we can go into the manage bots page, and we can see that I've got quite a few different exchanges, Bybit, KuCoin, OKX, all running on this bot. And so different bots are different. They will pick up, you know, the same signals and different signals on these, and you can toggle that off. So if you only want to have, say, ETH on one exchange, you can toggle that off and it'll pick up on the first exchange, then it won't pick up on all exchanges. Yeah, so that's pretty much how it works. So we've got quite a few exchanges, as you can see. We work with a lot of them all around the world globally. Coinbase for all the Americans, Kraken for all the Americans, and I think that works in Canada as well. So we've got a good range globally for everyone.
Yeah, a couple of those are sneak peeks, I think, because we're testing some new ones as well. So
yeah,
exciting times. And that's what GSIC looks like. So if you were watching and wondering why you're not in there, the link is at the bottom of the screen now, getting started in crypto.com. And jump in and we will see you there. It'd be great to have you in there. There's a live chat in there as well. So we're always chatting away. Yeah, anything else you wanted to
let
add,
me just I'll find an open signal. There's not a lot at the moment. So DMT, so we can see what they look like and how they kind of work. So when it achieves target 1, you'll get an alert via the app. We've got a Getting Started in Crypto app. Plus, if you follow the Twitter or X account, that will also alert on there. So you can get it in 2 places, plus email if you want it there as well. So you know that these trades are coming in. We have a process bar, so we know where it is. So this is achieved target 1. It's on its way to target 2. And then that bar just moves as the targets are filled. So that was by our brilliant dev Valentin, and it looks amazing. Yeah, so this is updated. If I need to update these manually because it has wick to a target, it will say manual and not the bot, just so you know, and I'll put a chart there to prove that it has gone to that region. So this is all connected to exchanges and coin market caps, so we get live feed of these signals. So this is essentially what it looks like. This then links to the bots. If you don't want to trade manually, you can link that automatically via API to the bots, and it all connects all through.
It's all there. We've been working for 3 years on this since the top of the last bull run. So yeah, good times. That's probably enough shilling from our end. Any last words on Bitcoin, Ethereum before we leave everyone this week?
Well, Bitcoin 71,200 or 71,300 really, and that's just massive. So go Bitcoin. And ETH, we're sitting at 4,000. So when we get to key psychological numbers, they can sometimes take a little bit of time to sort of clear the shorts, because, you know, psychologically you guys go, oh, 4,000, I'm going to short there. I go, that's perfect, because that gives me bear tears, and, you know, it'll take a little bit to clear and then it'll continue.
Okay, perfect. Well, let's end it there. A lovely comment again from Alan. Love your site. Been a member for more than 10 days and made a very good amount of money. Keep up the good work with the signals. That's what we like to hear. That's what we love. So thank you very much, Alan. And to everyone in GSIC, thanks for joining us, and thanks for joining us around the world. X and YouTube and everywhere else. Over 600 of you right now. So thank you for tuning in. gettingstartedincrypto.com, or go across and follow Lisa at Lisa N. Edwards if you're not already. You should be. But otherwise, have a fantastic week ahead. Make sure you're taking profits and make sure you're trading with a smile on your face.
Yeah, make sure you're moving that stop loss into profits, more importantly, because we're in a bullish market and we want to take as much profits as we can get.
Absolutely. See you guys soon.
Bye.